to the extent that we are minting 1 billionaire every 5 days. This is some sort of a record, not just for us as a country, but also globally. There haven't been too many cases where a country has minted 1 billionaire every 5 days. So that's a great achievement and a great positive. And also, at the same time, we all know that Moody's has now upgraded India's growth rate for the current fiscal to 7.2% from their previous target of 6.8%. This is also great news because obviously we are, even with 6.8%, we are the fastest growing large economy of the world, but more is always better in this case. So 7.2% growth rate is definitely commendable in an environment where the global growth is only coming down this year and it's going to come down more next year. And in a situation where economies like China and parts of Western Europe are not doing well at all, India is like a best house in a pretty ordinary neighborhood. So all these are extremely good factors. If I talk about the billionaires aspect, this is a great source of inspiration for all those budding entrepreneurs out there who are rising from the middle class and who have the aspirations and dreams to become a great wealth creator in the long term. Whether they become billionaires or they become worth $100 million, that is somewhat besides the point. But the fact is, this is a great source of inspiration for all budding entrepreneurs of this country. Another good aspect of this number is that there is now democratization in terms of ultra wealthy in the country. So, ultra wealthy, if you take the definition of 1000 crore plus as ultra wealthy, the good news is that now these ultra wealthy come from 97 cities in the country. Till a few years back, this number used to be only about 10 to 15. So the fact that these ultra wealthy are coming up from so many cities and towns of this country, this is again great democratization of the wealth, and this is again a source of inspiration for everybody in the country, whether they come from large cities or smaller towns. So this is a very, very positive aspect. But I have two cautionary messages here. A, the disparity of wealth in the country is now growing at an alarming rate, and our disparity of wealth between the most wealthy and the most poor is now not only at an all-time high for India, it is also one of the highest in the whole world. So that is a situation which we need to ponder about, because this is not great for the social fabric and for a feeling of financial inclusion for everybody in the country. That is one. Secondly, what I would say is that as far as the economic growth is concerned, it's great that we are growing at 7.2%. And obviously, there are a few tailwinds. So, the tailwinds include a good monsoon, for example. We believe that the rural spending is going to do better. The private sector capex at the moment is doing extremely well, and that is also boosted by the fact that so much money is being raised from equity as an asset class through IPOs, through QIPs, through private equity fundraisers. So that is also adding to the capex boom in the country. That is also good news. But to make this growth sustainable, we need to ponder about two things. A, the unemployment picture in the country is not looking great, whether it is the urban parts of the country or the rural parts. So we need to now think about how to increase employment in the country, because that will be great not just for economic growth but also for improving the social fabric of this country. Secondly, there are a few threats also on the horizon, and those threats are that the Indian banking sector is not doing too great. Their net interest margins are going down, the credit growth is also coming down, and there is pressure from the NPAs rising again. So this is very, very important, because in the long term, the economy cannot do well if the banking sector is not doing too well. And plus, of course, there is a concern about a global economic slowdown becoming more entrenched, with US possibly going into a recession sometime in the next 1 year. So these are some threats. There are some challenges, but overall, I would say this is great news. All of us need to congratulate ourselves, and we need to celebrate these achievements for our country.